Hello and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy pick and plays for Wednesday, December 12th, 2024. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DailyDog. That's DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. Get you a 50% deposit match bonus up to $1,000. That means if you put $2,000 down, you get $1,000 extra to play with. And I'm not sure how long this thing is going to be up because I think Underdog reduces their promos once we get out of football season because obviously that's what most people are in the Underdog world. So there is potential that this could be reduced to a lower deposit match. I think it used to be $250 pre-football season, maybe $500. So if you're on the fence and you want to maximize that deposit match bonus, do it ASAP. Again, the Underdog hasn't told me anything. I don't know, but just trying to put that out there. In case they do reduce the deposit match bonus as we transition out of football season. And that being said, let's get into our picks for today. We're going to start out with the NBA. We're going to go with Viktor Wembanyama, higher than 22.5 points against the Celtics. He's been crushing these types of numbers lately. And I think there's a lot of faith in the Celtics here. Wemby is such a hard matchup no matter who he's playing against, and also he's been playing very well, and when he's made some of these appearances at these historic courts, obviously he's been in the league for a year now, but I still think that he's going to treat this opportunity to show out in the Boston Garden as a good spot to get some points. Higher than 22.5 points for Wemby here. Really like that one. Then pair that with Franz Vagner, higher than 26.5 points as the Orlando Magic host the Charlotte Hornets. As always, I just think that the Hornets do not match up with big men very well. Big forward Franz Vagner is he's a big forward, and I think he's just been on a scoring streak lately. He's averaging like 25 points per game, and he's been injured a lot this season. But since since his last two games, 37 points against the Hawks, 33 against the Spurs. He had only 14 at the Nuggets, but before that, in the front end of that back-to-back, scheduling spot, he had 31 against Sacramento. He's coming off some rest here, so I think Franz Wagner higher than 26.5 points is a good one to take a look at. NBA number 2, we're going to go with Klay Thompson, higher than 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has shown out when he's played Golden State this year. I don't think that's going to change now he's playing them again at home. Give me Klay Thompson higher than 20.5 points, rebounds, assists. We've talked about it. No Anthony Davis, no Luka Doncic, obviously. His usage rate has to go up. He needs to score more. He needs to pass more, and he needs to chase down a couple more boards. Obviously, he's not going to be a huge rebound guy. But, if he gets 3-4 rebounds, that goes a massive way here. Just assume that he gets like 15, 16 points, 2 or 3 assists. I mean, this is a really low number. So I really love Klay Thompson higher than 20.5 points, rebounds, assists here. I think that's very, very low. Then we're going to go with Guerschon Yabusele of the 76ers. Guerschon Yabusele higher than 21.5 points, rebounds, assists. Again, this guy's been extremely productive. This is a back-to-back. So they might need to use him even more than they have been lately, depending on the health of some of their other forwards and how they're feeling after playing a hard-fought game against Toronto last night. Yabusele has been kind of quietly having a very, very productive season. Just his last couple of games. In that game against in the game against Toronto, he played 22 minutes. It wasn't his most productive game. He only had 16 points. But the game prior to that, he had 21 PRA. Game prior to that, he had 20 PRA. He had 20 PRA. So he's going to be right around this number, and I don't think it's necessarily a tough matchup here for the 76ers against the Nets. This is a 3x multiplier. The first one was a 3x multiplier too, if I didn't say that already. All right, let's get into the Four Nations Faceoff. I'm excited to watch some of this international hockey. International hockey tournaments are usually really, really high level, really good. So let's get into it with the Four Nations Faceoff. I'm going to start out with Sidney Crosby, higher than 0.5 assists. This guy's been doing it for a long, long time in these international tournaments for his native Canada. I think that he's going to have an assist here because I think that there's going to be potentially more goals than you're expecting. I think the total in this game is at 5.5. I think we could definitely see 6-7 goals in this one because I'm not sure how locked in these guys are going to be so early in the group stage or the round robin stage of this tournament. Obviously, Sidney Crosby, as I said, he's been doing this. So give me higher than 0.5 assists. Then on the other side, we go with Mika Zibanejad, higher than 1.5 shots for Sweden. I think they're going to need to be finding offense wherever they can get it. I think Zibanejad, 1.5 shots, very, very low hanging fruit there. So let's get Zibanejad higher than 1.5 shots with Sidney Crosby assists, 3.12x multiplier. All right, Four Nations face off number 2. Mitch Marner higher than 0.5 assists. Marner is an assist master. Maybe his role changes on this Team Canada, but I'm just going to go with what he's been doing well in the NHL, which is helping guys out, getting helpers left and right. So give me Mitch Marner higher than 0.5 assists. And then Rasmus Dahlin higher than 1.5 shots. Again, another low-hanging fruit. I think that they're going to need to get the puck on net however they can. I think Dahlin is going to be able to get a couple shots off in this game. That also is a 3.12x multiplier. Just one tennis entry today. The list is a little bit sparse because the schedules in tennis have been thrown off a little bit by some weather and some other delays out around the world. So not too much on the board, but there is one entry I do like very much. Marcus Giron, lower than 0.5 sets lost against Quinn. Ethan Quinn is a young player, kind of a challenger player. Giron just makes his hay by beating up on guys lower level than him. So give me Giron lower than 0.5 sets lost. Pairing that with Alexander Michelsen, higher than 21.5 games played. He's playing against Michael Moe. Moe is, a pretty good server, and Michelsen's a good server. I think we could see some TBs here, and I could think we could definitely see some 3 sets. Moe's been injured, but he's looking like he's a little bit back here. He's got to make some money in this U.S. swing. I don't know if he wins this match. I think Michelsen's obviously a much better player, but I do think that we could go long in this one. So that is a 3.33x multiplier with Marcus Giron lower than 0.5 sets lost and Alexander Michelsen higher than 21.5 games played. Both those matches are going to be played later this evening in Delray Beach for the ATP Delray Beach tournament. Now let's get to the fun part of the day. Everyone loves the Lotto entries. I do sometimes double dip on some of you guys for my standard entries on these, but it makes sense. If I really like it, I'm going to keep on going with it. So Lotto number 1, Klay Thompson, higher than 19.5 points against the Warriors. Klay has played the Warriors twice this season. He's had 20 points in both of those games. Last time he was at Golden State, he had 29 points in that game. And then earlier in the season at Golden State, he had 22 points. Now he's at home here versus the Mavericks. Time to show his old friends what he's all about in Dallas. So this is a really low-hanging fruit. I like it. Then I'm going to go with Jordan Clarkson of the Jazz, higher than 19.5 points. Clarkson had a very poor shooting day in the first game of this back-to-back with the Lakers. I think that he's going to shoot much better here. I think that everyone's just going to assume the Lakers are going to crush the Jazz. I mean, obviously that's highly likely considering how bad this Jazz team is. But that being said, I think that Jordan Clarkson he had an abnormally bad shooting night in Los Angeles. He was 6 from 15 from the field, 3 of 10 from three-point line. Prior to that, though, he had gone 20-plus points in 3 consecutive games. He'd been hitting 3, 5, 6 three-pointers in all those games. So I really think Jordan Clarkson gets back into his shooting groove back at home here. Luka and LeBron are not exactly the type of guards that are going to be playing lockdown D in the regular season right here. So give me Jordan Clarkson higher than 19.5 points. Then I'm going to go with Michael Porter Jr. coming back from injury here against the Trailblazers for the Nuggets. I believe that he's going to be back. I said he's coming back. It looks like he's coming back. But you never really know with the NBA. So if he gets ruled out late, keep an eye on that. But I think that he almost played last game. And given that he almost played, now he's had 2 days rest. I think he's got a chance to get back in here and get back to his scoring ways. He'd been scoring 30 plus in 3 consecutive games prior to the absence, 20 plus in 4 of his last 5 games. Give me Michael Porter Jr. higher than 19.5 points to close this one out. 14.65x multiplier if all 3 of these guys score 20 points. Michael Porter Jr., Jordan Clarkson, Klay Thompson. If you flex it, 7.32x. If it goes 3 for 3, 2.28x flex. If it goes 2 out of 3. All right, let's go to Lotto entry number 2. Dylan Harper, Rutgers. We're going to go higher than 20.5 points. Iowa doesn't play any defense on the road in the rack for Rutgers. Rutgers, I think they're going to be able to score a lot of points here. I think Dylan Harper is going to have a great game because, as I said, Iowa is not interested in playing defense. He could crush 20.5 points. Let's be honest, super talented young player for Rutgers. Then we're going to go with Walker Kessler of the Jazz, higher than 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. The dude has been double-double machine lately, but he also gets 3-4 assists per game. So, 13, 13, and 4. I mean, we're looking great. So I think Walker Kessler higher than 26.5 points, rebounds, assists. He's kind of a forgotten man, not the sexiest player out there, but he has been productive into the double digits in points and rebounds more often than not lately. And as I said, he gets a little bit more assists than people expect from a center. Also going to go Jordan Clarkson higher than 2.5 3-pointers made. I told you about how much I thought he shot poorly in LA. He is a guy that can hit 3-3-pointers any given night. He can hit 6 3-pointers any given night. So give me Jordan Clarkson higher than 2.5 3-pointers made here. Pairing that also with Anthony Edwards higher than 3.5 3-pointers made. Ant Edwards been on a scoring tear lately. The T-Wolves have been improving, and the Bucks are coming to town. Anthony Edwards, again, just 4 3-pointers, very, very gettable for that dude. 2 more picks for this flex play or for this lotto play. You don't have to flex it if you don't want to. I'm going to go with Nathan McKinnon higher than 0.5 goals in the Four Nations Faceoff, and Philip Forsberg higher than 0.5 points. McKinnon, one of the younger leaders of this Canadian team. Good multiplier on him to score a goal. Philip Forsberg, I think Sweden's not going to get blanked. The odds basically have like Sweden going to get killed by Canada here. I think it could be a little bit closer than you think. I know this is Montreal, so it could be, a very distinct home ice advantage, but I think that there's going to be some points for Sweden. I think Forsberg's going to be at the center of those. So 41.94x multiplier if this goes 6 for 6, or if you flex it, 29.96x / 3.62x if it goes 5 for 6, 0.34x if it goes 4 for 6. All right, that's all I got for you today. Let's make some money.